rebels and troublemakers to stand out. Marginalized with voices making us so proud. For identity in the industry, we all shout. So many women empowered making their own.
Leads me into the Vertical series and doing the Ex-Wives Club. So when we did this, like everybody signed contracts from the actors and the producers. Everybody signed a contract because I want everybody to remember one thing. Contracts keep good friends.
System try to charge her for speaking up. Left behind speeding up. Passing not even enough. Needing no introduction, but she got a theme song.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women of Color Unite podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Nicci Freeman. Say hey, Nicci.
Hey, Nicci.
See, I did that on purpose. These special episodes, are coming to you in support of our new Vertical series, the Ex-Wives Club. Today, producers extraordinaire. Nicci and I are talking to a couple of the producers. Brenda Gilbert is the EP, along with me. Kim Scott and Nicci Freeman are both APs on it. So first, let us introduce Brenda Gilbert.
Hey, how y'all doing? A little bit about me. My husband and I co-founded a company called Braun Media Corporation. We were in business for about 13 years, and in that time, we were part of over 130 projects, mostly full-length feature films. We dabbled into animation in the doc space and TV as well. We were also a part of 38 Oscar nominations and 6 wins and over 500 Festival Award nominations. And for us, it was very important to give access and opportunities to people that look like all of us on this call in varying shades, marginalized groups. And we also want people to carry the torch and to help as many as they can.
I should also say that Brenda Gilbert is also a board member of Women of Color Unite. Thank you, Brenda, for coming on board and believing in me and this organization. Up next, Kim Scott. Hey, Kim Scott.
Hello. Thanks, Cheryl, for having me follow Brenda. Thank you. Appreciate that. So we go from 38 Oscar nominations to 0 Oscar nominations. But yeah, I'm a longtime physical production executive, line producer, production manager. Have known Cheryl for, I guess, a decade this year. And I'm happy to be a part of this project because it's a very high quality project. And it shows what you could do with little or no money. And that's always a good thing to know how to do as a line producer or producer of any kind.
That leads me into the Vertical series and doing the Ex-Wives Club, right? And partly because of everything that's going on in this country and all of the Black women and women of color who were laid off and all of those things, right? Mm-hmm. So when we did this, like everybody signed contracts from the actors and the producers. Everybody signed a contract because I want everybody to remember one thing. Contracts keep good friends. So everybody signed a contract, pari passu. For those who don't know what that means, it just means any money that comes in from brand deals or anything else gets distributed equally across the board. And that to me is the fairest and easiest way because everybody donated their time. And then we paid for Riverside, the platform that we're on now. And I got sent that shit off to the copyright office. All the scripts and WOCU owns the copyright. It was a work for hire contract with the writers. So let's talk about, because it was funny when we went in to the very first recording of the very first episode. And Kim, Nicci, and I started texting each other.
There were very funny moments throughout the first filming of the series, and we were all on text like, this is good, this isn't working, this is great. But we just let everybody kind of go and see where they were going with their performances and where the director was going, and it was a good time. It really was. There were some great thoughts.
The chemistry. That is what the text I got an immediate text from both of you saying the same thing. The chemistry of the actors is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I just want to ask Brenda Gilbert real quick. Why? Right? Why did you come aboard as EP? As you know, many people know, or maybe people don't know, we started a nonprofit production company. Brenda is our EIC. And I forgot to say, Kim Scott is our director of operations. Like, she handles money in a bank account. The thing that we don't have any of right now, but we're hoping to.
We're hopeful. We remain hopeful.
We really do. But Brenda, why? Why come aboard as EIC of the nonprofit production company, board member, this series? Why?
Well, first it started with you. First and foremost, our leader. I also know that you know how to vet and find talent and put things together, because you have this intuitive ability to see things way before any of us can see it. And you also want to bring joy, and you want to bring hope and inspiration to so many people. So why would I want to be a part of something that's so beautiful, that shows sisterhood, that exemplifies friendship, but it's real. It's real talk, and it's funny, and it's all these emotions that are so resonant, not just within America, North America, but also globally. So why not, is my counter question to you. Be part of something that is groundbreaking, is remarkable, and we're not just trying to jump on a bandwagon and set trends. This is life. This is reality.
And Scott, your thoughts?
Well, I think it's important, especially during a somewhat of a downturn in the industry, that we always have to keep going. We always have to greenlight ourselves and get together with our friends who are very talented women and make something happen. And it doesn't take a huge committee. It doesn't take a studio, a conglomerate to greenlight us. We greenlight ourselves, and we can create work that's meaningful. And it's just really important when, actual paid work is hard to come by these days, just to keep doing it, just to keep showing up for ourselves and for each other to make something happen that's positive.
It's also, a great example of, we tell people at a lot of panels, that we sit on, just go out, do something, make something. Don't wait for the studio to back you. Don't wait. Just, you have the tools accessible to you now. Whereas, 20 years ago, we wouldn't have had the tools because we didn't have things like, Zoom or digital cameras. You had to shoot on film and then have it processed, and it was very expensive. Where now you can make something with the tools that are in your pocket.
So a lot of people always ask, what do producers do?
Me personally, I work in a lot of derivative content and commercials. So, so I don't have a huge studio backing on my production. So I am legal, HR, accounting, mental health coordinator, babysitter, coffee runner sometimes, talking people off the ledge, a different person every day, fight coordinator, because, we have to coordinate how people are fighting amongst each other. And I mean, we do everything. And at the same time, you can't really point at anything specific that we don't do. We know everything on set.
So before we actually have a game to play, but before we do that, there is a question that I have asked Brenda Gilbert, but I'm going to ask her for everybody else. What's it like to go to the Oscars?
Going to the Oscars is magical. The first time that my husband and I were invited to go was when we were part of Fences. And I said to my husband, I looked at him and I said, Viola Davis is going to win. And he looked at me, crossed his fingers and said, I hope so. And sure enough, she did. And it was the first time, not only being at the Oscars, but the first time that we got any global recognition on such a huge platform, because she had mentioned our name on stage, and all of a sudden our phones were lighting up. People were DMing us. People were, hitting us up on LinkedIn. It is truly magical. And the thing that I didn't realize is my champagne glass was empty, but it was somehow getting refilled again. So I don't even know how much champagne I had to drink that night, but I was ecstatic and didn't care and had a good old time.
No, she said the first time.
No, we all thought that. The one thing that I hope people realize in listening to this is find your people. Find your tribe, find your community, find your people.
Well, you know what I want to say before we get to this game?
Sure.
Also, you don't need to compete with other people. Like, don't compete with your tribe. It's not pie. If one person gets something doesn't mean you're going to get less. That is not a thing. So, support each other, but don't compete with each other. Just because somebody got something great this week doesn't mean you're not going to get something great next week or next month or next year or whatever. Like, support your tribe. Don't compete with it.
Exactly. Exactly. But I think that Hollywood says that there is a scarcity mindset, and that has us all competing.
Yeah.
And I do not feel like I am in competition.
I don't see, and I think that has to be also changed, is that arrogant and, entitled philosophy and mindset that a lot of people have. And we have to also remember the industry and all of us are evolving all the time. So I'm always learning every single day, no matter from who, whether it's the youngins or whether it's people more on the older side. There's so much to give and so many gifts. And I want to make sure that people are down to earth and, accessible.
All right, Nicci, game time.
Okay, speaking of your tribe, my cousin has created this game called Tell Me More. And it is a, good conversation game. You pull a card and there's a question and everybody can answer it. And these are not necessarily production related. They're just like, hey, let's have fun. Okay. What's a secret talent no one would expect from you? I make hats. I make tons of hats and and paint and decorate. I make plumbing pipe furniture.
I don't think I have any hidden talents. I can sew.
So Kim Scott can sing. Kim, tell us about it.
Yes. I sing in 2 award-winning women's barbershop choruses. And we compete. We're part of the Sweet Adelines International organization, and it is international. We have choruses in Canada. One of our biggest choruses is North Metro Chorus. They're out of Toronto. We have choruses in Sweden, Japan, all over the world, and we compete. It's also a wonderful organization where we teach women how to become leaders, musical leaders, and leaders in their community. And it's something that I've done for 30 years. And it is extremely important to me. It's kept me sane when I've been dealing with all the craziness of Hollywood and the instability in Hollywood. Being able to lean into my music and the community there has been very important. So I recommend look for a local chapter of Sweet Adelines International near you. And you don't have to read music. You don't have to be a soloist. You need to be able to carry a tune, but other than that, the bar isn't that high. So I encourage people to check it out or just come to a show.
I'm trying to think of a talent. You know what? It's my newest talent. I box.
Punching people. Good talent.
Yes, my newest talent. As everybody knows, I love to work out, and I like to keep things interesting. And I box. So that is my talent. Go ahead, Nicci.
All right. What do you value most in friendships?
Loyalty.
Humor.
Authenticity.
Respect for boundaries.
If you could be invisible for a day, what would you do? And mine is always going to be rob a bank.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you took mine.
That was mine.
Moving on. And this one really was, when I pulled this one, it became a really great conversation. Time travel or read minds. Because I had a thought on both of them. Like I would love to time travel. There was the question of it within your timeline or, going far back. If you time traveled in my own timeline, I obviously everybody's like, I'm going to go buy Apple. And Cheryl said read minds, but I have a feeling people would hurt my feelings. And then I would have to use Cheryl's I wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah, I did say read minds, mainly so that I would not waste my time. And I am not talking about friends, because friends get mad at each other. Everybody has good days and bad days. What I'm talking about is business. For all the people who have wasted my time, right? Or picked my brain and lied, looking at you, maximum effort. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I knew you were trash. But I'm serious. Y'all can leave that in there. Y'all can leave that in there. But I mean it. Like
Red Bull.
Yeah, them too. I'm really tired of people trying to take advantage of marginalized people. Whether it is our content, we see it in social media where people steal stuff. But a lot of times people will have a conversation with you and you don't realize how nefarious it is. And you go in as your authentic self. Yes, there is a bird in my window and there's nothing I can do about it. Because it's outside. What about you, Brenda?
I think, but you're also super intuitive, like I mentioned earlier. So you already got that. It was almost like you just need a verification or a confirmation of, of your thoughts, which is usually right. I think for me, it would be time travel, and not in the sense that I want to buy stocks or anything like that. Is I want to see my grandmother as a child and grow up, and just some of the gifts that she gave me. Also, for me to be better equipped with tools to maneuver around the world that I'm living in right now. And even as a studio head, what could I have done better? What should I have done? Knowing, that certain people were going to be moving in a certain way. I think that I just want a little bit more knowledge, but also the confidence. So as a brown woman in this world, I haven't always had the confidence. And Cheryl, you've seen me grow over the last 6 years in terms of openly speaking about certain situations or certain topics, but also being more confident in myself, because you always lift me up, as does Nicci and Kim as well on this platform right now. So I think for me is just, making sure that I would go back, but also able to help, some of my ancestors, some of my relatives that went through some trauma, some things, and how can I not necessarily reverse, but how can I learn from that and move forward in a better way?
Kim?
I think I'd also have to take time travel just to be, if nothing else, a cultural tourist. I would love to travel to see Ella Fitzgerald in concert in the late 50s. Now, yeah, that wasn't a great time for Black people, but culturally, to be able to witness some of the great artists from the past, to see Maria Callas perform on stage at the Metropolitan Opera, or Leontine Price to open up the Numa with Franco Corelli in 1966. So I would like to time travel for those reasons, and maybe a little bit into the future to get us out of the present muck that we're mired in, and hopefully to a better future. But yeah, time travel.
Everybody wants to do it for like really great reasons. I'm just materialistic and I want cash.
Oh, that too. And don't best believe I would be buying Apple stock if I could, because I'm an Apple fan. I'm not stupid, but I would go see Ella first, and then I would fast forward to the 70s and buy Apple stock. So yes.
On the reading minds in the film industry would be really interesting when you're doing a pitch, because you can pivot to what people are like looking for. Like if they're bored with what you're pitching them, you can start to pivot to something else. Also, I can know if somebody's an asshole. All right. Thank you so much, Brenda Gilbert and Kim Scott, for joining us. And please check out the Ex-Wives Club on social media.
Thank you, and honored to be here.
Thanks for a fun conversation.
Bye, everybody. We'll catch you on the next episode of the WOCU podcast in support of our vertical series, the Ex-Wives Club. Bye!
Bye!
Bye.
The Women of Color Unite podcast is hosted by Cheryl L. Bedford and Nicci Freeman, produced by Nwabata Nnani, and edited by Lauren Bonett. The music is by Oh Yeah, featuring Nayuta. Subscribe to the Women of Color Unite podcast to never miss an episode. If you want to submit questions or responses to this episode, you can send them to podcast@woceunite.com. Find the show notes and transcripts for this podcast on our website at woceunite.org, where you can also learn more about Women of Color Unite and sign up to become a member for free and sign up for our monthly newsletter. Please consider making a tax-deductible donation. Donations are what enable us to create amazing programs like our #StartWith8 career development program. If you're on social media, you can follow the podcast at WOCU Podcast, and you can follow Women of Color Unite at WOCUnite.org.
Please stay tuned and join us for the next episode of the Women of Color Unite podcast, because we telling it like it is.
We need rebels and troublemakers to stand out, marginalized with voices making us so proud.